Police arrest another suspect in Clarendon mass shooting. The police have captured another suspect in the mass killing of 8 people, including a child, on Cherry Tree Lane in Four Pass, Clarendon last Sunday. He has been identified as Leighton White, otherwise called Bonds, of Meepin in the parish. Reports are that White was reported on condition of bail to the police station in the parish for a previous case of shooting when he was identified and held by the police. On Wednesday, Deputy Commissioner of Police DCP Fitzbailey said 5 people have been apprehended thus far in connection with the incident. Later that day, a man who was suspected to be one of the shooters was fatally shot by police during an operation carried out in Osborne Store, Clarendon. Investigations continue. Several rushed to hospital following 2-vehicle collision in St. Anne. Several individuals have been rushed to hospital following a crash at the Miami Bay entrance of Edward Seaga Highway in St. Anne. Reporters understand that a truck and a bus were involved in the crash. An alleged eyewitness said he saw both vehicles in the ditch in the area. A heavy pileup of traffic was said to be in the area while the police were on the scene. Cops say alleged thieves killed in St. Thomas may have been from Kingston. Police have indicated that 3 men killed in an early morning shootout with lawmen in the St. Thomas community of Poorman's Corner on Thursday were unfamiliar with the area. The men were fatally shot after allegedly attempting to break into a liquor store. Senior Superintendent and Area 5 Commander Christopher Phillips, in recounting the early morning shooting, said a businessman upon arriving at his establishment stumbled upon a vehicle which aroused his suspicion. Upon investigations, the man was reportedly fired upon by men. Emerging from his business place, he reported a return fire causing the men to flee in the vehicle. The businessman, upon realizing his establishment was breached, went to conduct further investigation but was pounced upon by a machete-wielding man who was reportedly left behind by his cronies as he was still inside the establishment as they made their escape. The police were subsequently alerted and a description of the getaway car was given. The lawmen then went in pursuit of the vehicle. Police pursued the vehicle into the Penn community. When they entered the Grants Penn community, they saw a group of men and 2 vehicles were parked on the roadway. They fired at the police. The police team took evasive action and returned the fire. At the end of that shooting, 2 men were found suffering from gunshot wounds. The men were rushed to hospital where they were later pronounced dead. SSP Phillips said a 9mm pistol with a magazine and 5 live rounds were taken from the scene. The senior cop said the deceased men may have been from Kingston Western area. One resident from the community heaped praises on the police for cutting down the criminals. The resident expressed that had the perpetrators not been caught, residents would have been forced to believe that robbery was carried out by men in the community. JPS announces $50 million assistance for St. Elizabeth residents, draws applause but calls for more. The Jamaica Public Service JPS has announced that it has earmarked $50 million to assist customers in St. Elizabeth who are still without power following Hurricane Beryl passage on July 3rd. President and Chief Executive Officer of JPS, Hugh Grant, says this assistance will be in the form of credit to the bills of customers. During a visit to the parish, he said $5,000 will go towards the bills of the 10,000 customers who are still without electricity. He said JPS will also be helping citizens to prepare for back to school and will be visiting communities to provide power to charge electronic devices. Meantime, Energy Minister Darrell Voss has applauded the Jamaica Public Service for the $50 million assistance the power company announced for St. Elizabeth customers. The Energy Minister praised the Compassionate Act but called for some concession to be directed to citizens who had to wait long periods before their power was restored. In the meantime, he called on the Office of the Utilities Regulation and JPS to provide in detail the timeline for restoration for different committees in St. Elizabeth so citizens can plan accordingly.
We're taking steps to strengthen the grid and to make the infrastructure more resilient. So while we will be here and we will restore, I want to warn you, once power is restored, we're going to continue along this resiliency path in order to make the grid more resilient. Now, we're going beyond just wires and poles. We will be a part of helping our customers to recover from the impact of Hurricane Beryl. One thing that we're doing is we will be giving $50 million towards the electricity bills of approximately 10,000 customers here in St. Elizabeth who are still out. Each of these customers will receive $5,000 towards their bill, and this will be reflected as a credit on their bills. The other thing that we're doing is we have committed and are doing community meetings. Over the next few weeks, we will be in the communities of St. Elizabeth meeting with our customers, providing them with information and tangible assistance such as charging to support their devices. For instance, we will be in Balaclava and we'll be in Slipe and Parati. Another thing that we're doing is back to school assistance. We are providing back to school support for students. Just last Friday, I had an opportunity to be at the B.B. Cook High School where we provided back to school support for over 300 students. Among that, we had care packages distributed. And those care packages have what? They have water, they have toiletries, they have school bags, and they have book vouchers. Several students also got the opportunity to do back to school medical. We'll be hosting other back to school events over the next few weeks within the parish.
I have been in constant dialogue over the last few days with the new president of the Jamaica Public Service who took office on August 1st, and I've been highlighting to him both verbally and in writing my concerns in relation to the suffering customers. I applaud JPS for the compassionate concession that they have given in relation to $50 million towards the people or the customers in St. Elizabeth. However, I still believe that based on the length of time that they have taken to restore other areas, there should be some concession and some compassion to them, whether in terms of discounts, which I know they are doing, but also payment plans. A lot of people have been completely wiped out based on the length of time for restoration. And therefore, we have to make sure and work with them so they can get back on their feet. And it won't happen overnight and it won't happen in a month. So again, I'm making that appeal to the JPS, but give credit where credit is due. I see where they are starting to move towards compassionate concessions for existing customers. And last but not least, I'm still appealing to JPS and the OUR that a complete comprehensive publication of the customers that remain out of electricity with a schedule to show when will they get back their light between now and the 31st so they can plan their business and plan their life. It is not good enough to say that it's the 31st and don't have a schedule. We are now August 15th and the last deadline was August 12th. More than enough time, 3 days for JPS to have looked at their 10,000 customers and the areas that they are in and to be able to publish and communicate with the customers and the country in relation to restoration.
Government urges Jamaicans to be alert of mpox threat. The Health and Wellness Ministry is urging Jamaicans to be alert to the threat of mpox, formerly monkeypox. The mpox alert follows declaration of the virus as a global public health emergency by the World Health Organization (WHO). WHO's declaration, which is the second of its kind in 2 years, followed an outbreak of mpox in parts of Africa. Canada and Sweden have already reported new cases. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bisosa Mackenzie says though there is no reported case of the virus in Jamaica, citizens should be on the alert and take the necessary safety precautions. Mpox is transmitted through close contact, such as sex, skin-to-skin contact, and taking or breathing in close to another person. It causes flu-like symptoms, skin lesions, and can be fatal, with 4 to 100 cases leading to death. For more information on mpox, persons are urged to contact the nearest parish health department or call 888-663-5683.
The Minister of Health and Wellness has noted the declaration of mpox as a public health emergency of international concern by the World Health Organization and wishes to alert the country that while there are presently no cases of mpox reported, members of the public should take the necessary precautions to safeguard themselves from this disease. Mpox is a rare disease that is similar to smallpox and can be transmitted by contact and droplet exposure. The outbreak in 2022 was larger among men who have sex with men and was controlled through vaccination and behavior modification. Safe sexual practices, along with practicing physical distancing, mask wearing, and frequent hand sanitization, will reduce the likelihood of transmission of the mpox virus.
Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.